Hey everyone, North Central here. Thanks for tuning in. Thought we'd start the tour today by just going over to the potato planter here that I've got. This is just a mixture of soil that I put in here. It's got some little bit of compost, mostly it's peat moss and vermiculite, and I supercharged it with some steep tea or compost tea. But I've got little spuds coming up everywhere, so hopefully this is going to do real well. Now when these come up to about 5 or 6 inches or so, I'll be putting in another layer of wood on it and then covering up with dirt, and I'll bring you along for that. But till then, let's move on a little bit. Okay, so what we've got here is, this is a super chili, this is an orange habanero, and this is the Natal. These are kind of a modified global bucket that I've brought in here. You can see the tubing down here, and this basically works off of suction. In my reservoir here, it got full of water, goes through the tubing into this one, this bucket, comes out of this bucket into this bucket, and of course out of this bucket into this bucket, and then on down the line. The rest of them I haven't filled up quite yet. I'll be doing that a little bit later this morning. It works on suction. The level in this bucket, through suction through these lines and through the wicking power of the peat moss and everything that's in these buckets wicking the water up, will draw water out of the reservoir into the bucket, and of course through this bucket, and this bucket will do the same thing. The level in the reservoir will stay about the same in the buckets. So if I have 3 inches of water in the reservoir, I have 3 inches of water in the buckets through the suction power of going through. So this is actually really kind of a self-watering deal here. The only thing that I haven't done yet is hook my reservoir directly up to my rain barrel, and hopefully that's something that I'll get done within the next few weeks or next month or so. So let's move on. Okay, so this is the strawberry plant that I had down in my basement that had produced flowers, and of course some of the strawberries are getting kind of a little bit bigger, which is a good thing. My son is really happy with it, so hopefully it'll produce some more. Okay, so here's some more self-watering containers. These two have the On the Deck sweet corn that I got from Burpee. It's a hybrid. Actually, they say it's made for containers. They said on the package that you could put up to 9 seeds per 2-foot container. So what I did is I went ahead and I put 5 seeds in each one of these. Now this is a global bucket, a true global bucket system with a little spout on it that you put the water in. Water goes to the reservoir and then it's wicked up. So I'll be watering these probably once, maybe twice a week. This one over here, I don't have anything in it yet. It's only halfway filled up. I had to make some more soil. These two do have the corn in it, and then in a couple of weeks I'll do 2 more of these and add, of course, 5 seeds to each one of those, and that way I'll have corn 1 week, and then 2 weeks later have another set of corn. But this is the On the Deck hybrid from Burpee, and I'll definitely be keeping you posted on this as well. Okay, so we're on the back side of my raised garden here, and this is broccoli that I planted several weeks ago, and it's coming up pretty nicely. I do need to thin it out. I put more than 1 seed in each little plot. Now broccoli gets really big, so my intention is to have 1 plant up here in the far left corner, 1 plant in the far right corner, 1 plant in the middle, and then of course down here at the bottom, 1 in the bottom left and bottom right. That way they have a little bit of space to go. But all in all, they're doing fairly nice. So hopefully I'll get some good looking broccoli later on. Here's 3 little short rows of black seed lettuce coming up very nicely. Again, I planted this whenever I planted the broccoli, and it is doing really well. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so this is the garlic that I planted. If you saw the video on it, I showed you how I did that. This is a little pepper plant that I have here. But the garlic's coming up very nice, and we'll see how it does. Just to the back of the garlic is one of the tomato plants that I put in here, and this is the Burpee Super Sauce, and of course it's in the tomato cage. And if you'll notice, if you're wondering what these are pop bottles that I drilled some holes in the bottoms of them, or along the sides of them, and my intention on this is whenever it comes to about once or twice a week, I'm going to come in here, fill these pop bottles up around these tomato plants, and this will give it a good deep watering, or at least help get a good deep watering. So I'm going to utilize these this season and see if those do pretty good. So all in all, that's pretty much the garden, at least out here. I do have some cucumbers planted there and some carrots planted here that haven't come up. And I've got this nice bare spot right here. And this is going to be another tomato. Yes, I saved you one to show you how exactly it is that I go about putting it in the ground. So hang on and we'll get started on that. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to, of course, figure out where it is exactly you want to plant your plant at. I know where I want to plant mine. I got a bottle here and a bottle here, and they're evenly spaced where the cage will sit somewhere in between here. I want to put that tomato plant right in the middle of that cage, just up towards the front just a little bit. So about right here, this is where I'm going to put it. And I always put my tomato plants down deep. And you can see I'm not digging a real big hole. I'm not going to put any dirt or anything that I've made out of it, because this is pretty good soil. And yes, I like to use my hands a lot too to dig in the dirt. And I like to bury these things down almost 12 inches, almost a foot. Gets them down good and deep. Oh, hello, Mr. Earthworm. Sit you right over here. Not too bad. Now I want to pick my tomato plant, and I've been picking the biggest, strongest, healthiest ones. And I think that's going to be this one right here. And you see these got real big holes in the bottom of them, and I haven't watered these for about 3 or 4 days now. So I just pop it up, my finger on it there, get my finger out of the bottom of it, grab a hold of it, get it off the other ones. And you can see the roots, of course, are starting to get a little bit root bound. They're wrapping around it. Not too bad. They were coming out of the top of it just a touch, but that's okay. All in all, that's a good looking healthy plant right there. Now I'm planting it deep, so I got to take off these bottom leaves, and I just pinch them off. They're not hard to come off. Just a pinch and a pinch. And that's what we got left right there. And then it's just a matter of backfilling a little bit. And I get it around my root system at the bottom and push the dirt down around it a little bit, just kind of give it a secure base. And then just fill in around it with the dirt that I took out. Dirt and worms. Until it's just like this. And that's how I've done all of them down through here. Now I have 7 of these put out now. This one here will be lucky number 7. That ought to be enough tomatoes. So I'm not going to plant any more tomatoes. I'm not going to get rid of these. I'm going to go around my neighbors, see if any of my neighbors want some tomato plants. But I'm definitely not going to throw these away unless I absolutely have to. Okay, the next step, of course, is to get some water to it. I want to water it pretty good. It helps to compact the soil around it. The peat moss that's in there gathers water up from it and get it down there by the roots. Now these plants, when you transplant them like this, they do tend to go into a little bit of a shock. But if you do it right, it won't be too bad. Need a little bit more water. And that's going to do that. Grab my shovel all the way. And I put my cage on. And that's that. Now a little bit later on today and throughout this week it's going to be raining, so I really shouldn't have to come out here and do much. These will actually go into the compost pile. Every little bit helps. But so I shouldn't have to do much as far as watering anything out here for the next week or so, because it's going to be raining off and on. So I guess that's pretty much it. This is my garden, and I'll about every week or so come out and let you see how it's doing. Maybe not here, but the buckets and stuff, and we'll go from there. Till next time, this is North Central. Thanks for watching.